Hey, it's Izzy from Tech Tire and Wheel here to welcome you to Tech University's Truck Puncture two-piece repair course. In this course, we'll discuss in detail the steps for a proper two-piece puncture repair. We'll show you the tech-recommended repair process, which follows the industry standards. All right, with this introduction, you are now ready to begin your two-piece truck puncture repair course. The first step in the tech repair process, which is R, remove the tire from the wheel and inspect the tire. Removing the tire from the wheel allows us to fully inspect the tire, including the inside of the tire for any non-repairable conditions, and to ensure the tire is able to be repaired and is safe to be put back into service. The inspection should include the bead area, the sidewalls, the tread area, and the inside of the tire. If you see any injuries, mark them during this inspection process with a high-quality tire marker. When the tire is inspected, there are several conditions deemed by the tire industry guidelines as non-repairable. These are a tire that has been run flat or underinflated, tire inner liner separations, tire casing separations, excessive tread wear, exposed body plies or cables, deformed bead, exposed fabric or steel, ozone cracking, and damage from impacts. If you identify any non-repairable conditions, mark the tire and explain to the customer the nature of the non-repairable condition and why it is unsafe to repair the tire. We both know they're going to want to repair the tire. The second step in the tech repair method, which is E for evaluate the injury. As we evaluate the injury to the tire, if the object is still present, you need to remove it. Using Tech's TRT 105 inspection tool, you'll be able to quickly and precisely measure the size and angle of the injury while minimizing the chance of enlarging the damaged area. If the injury exceeds 35 degrees, a two-piece repair must be used. Extreme angles can put excessive stress on the repair at the base of the stem, leading to the need to use a two-piece repair. The injury size also has limitations per industry standards. For passenger and fabric body ply LT tires, the maximum injury size is 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters after damage removal. For steel body ply LT and larger tires, the maximum injury size is 3/8 inch or 10 millimeters. The location of the injury will determine repairability of the injury as well. Injuries in the sidewall are not repairable as a puncture and must be sent to a full-service repair facility for a section repair. Injuries in the shoulder area of a truck tire, which is defined as the outer 1/4 inch or 40 millimeters of the tread area, can be repaired as an RSR or reinforced shoulder repair. Refer to Tech University's RSR course for more details. In this example, the injury is greater than 35 degrees and in the crown area, so we will use a Tech two-piece repair. Here we can see the injury has accepted the tool just below the 4th line. This calls for the use of a 291-1 UL Uniseal stem, along with either a CT20 or 112 repair unit. P is for prepare the injury. After our previous step of evaluating the tire and the injury, we need to pre-clean a large area around the injury of the inner liner by applying Tech Rub-O-Matic rubber cleaner. Begin by spraying or pouring Tech Rub-O-Matic on the area to be cleaned. While the area is still moist, use a rubber scraper to remove contaminating substances. This process should be repeated 3 times to guarantee complete removal of contaminants such as silicone mold lubricants used in the tire's manufacturing process. Pre-cleaning the inner liner is critical for proper adhesion of the repair unit to the inner liner. It also helps prolong the life of your buffing wheel. Use the appropriate size carbide cutter in a low-speed drill, maximum 1200 RPM, to properly prepare the injury. The low-speed drill eliminates the possibility of scorching the rubber in the injury. Following the angle of the injury, cut from the inside of the tire using a clockwise rotation. Repeat this process a minimum of 5 times in a truck tire. Repeat this procedure 5 times from the outside of the tire to ensure proper injury preparation. After the drilling is complete, the injury should be inspected using a probe to make sure all damage has been completely removed. Apply Tech 760 chemical vulcanizing fluid into the injury from inside the tire using a spiral cement tool with a clockwise rotation. This procedure should be repeated 3 to 5 times depending on the thickness of the tire. Remove the colored poly from the stem by folding the stem along the crease to break the poly free and reposition the poly on the stem near the end to prevent touching the cushion gum. Touching the cushion gum will cause contamination that may lead to repair failure, so don't touch it. Apply Tech 760 chemical vulcanizing fluid to the black tapered area of the stem only. This ensures proper lubrication when installing the repair unit. Insert the lead wire through the injury. Grasp the wire on the outside of the tire with pliers. Pull the stem through the tire until approximately 1/8 of an inch of the stem remains above the inner liner. Now place the appropriate template on the inside of the tire on the stem, and using a tire paint stick, trace around the edge of the template. If no template is available, freehand trace 1/2 inch larger than your repair unit. This line will serve as a guide for mechanical buffing of the inner liner. Next, mechanically buff within the marked area using a low RPM buffer and an appropriate buffing wheel to achieve a smooth, even buff texture. Do not exceed 5,000 RPM. If the speed of the tool exceeds 5,000 RPM, scorching of the rubber surface will occur, which will greatly reduce the adhesion of the repair unit to the inner liner. Buff the stem flush to the inner liner, then buff the rest of the marked area to a number 1 or 2 texture. Be sure to run the buffing wheel from side to side across the inner liner as shown. This will prevent cutting grooves into the inner liner and promotes better adhesion. A is for applying the vulcanizing fluid. So let's get started. Using a soft wire brush on a low RPM tool, lightly brush from the right side of the prepared surface to the left side to remove loose buffing dust and steel shavings from the buffed surface. This is an important step to create a clean, prepared surface to maximize repair unit adhesion. You may need to repeat this process 2 to 3 times to ensure that all buffing dust and steel shavings are removed. Do not use a compressed air line for this procedure. The air may contain moisture and oil that will contaminate the buffed surface. Now vacuum all buffing dust and steel shavings from the tire. Avoid contacting the buffed surface with the vacuum. This will lead to contamination and compromise repair adhesion. Now apply a thin, even coat of Tech chemical vulcanizing fluid to the buffed surface of the inner liner. Do not apply vulcanizing fluid to unprepared surfaces. This could lead to contamination of the repair area and the can of vulcanizing fluid. You need to allow approximately 3 to 5 minutes for the vulcanizing fluid to dry. Additional drying time is required in cold and humid climates. Vulcanizing fluid must be completely dry before applying the repair to avoid trapping solvent under the repair. This could create air bubbles under the repair unit and lead to premature repair failure. The 5th step in the Tech repair process for the 2-piece repair, which is I for install the repair. While the chemical vulcanizing fluid dries, prepare the Tech 112 multi-purpose repair unit by removing the colored poly. Bend the 112½ along the perforation to expose the center of the repair unit and prevent touching the cushion gum. Touching the cushion gum will cause contamination that may lead to repair failure. Make sure the tire beads are relaxed to prevent bridging of the repair unit. Now place the center of the repair unit over the injury. If installing a Syntec repair, make sure the bead arrows are properly aligned with the beads of the tire. Once the Tech 112 multi-purpose repair unit is in place, press down on the repair unit with your thumb. Stitch the repair unit down from the center outward. This process removes any air which might be trapped between the repair unit and the inner liner of the tire. Exert firm pressure on the stitcher to maximize adhesion. Remove the colored poly, press the repair down, and stitch the edges. Then repeat stitching in the opposite direction. Make sure to remove the clear protective covering from the repair when finished. Before we get to step 6, just a few items to follow up on to finish the installation process. If you are repairing a tube-type tire, cover the repair with Tech Tire Talc number 706-1 to prevent the repair unit from vulcanizing to the tube. When repairing a tubeless tire, seal the edge of the repair unit and the over-buffed area with Tech number 738 security coat or number 739 butyl liner repair sealer. These repair sealers help to restore the air retention properties of the buffed inner liner. So what all is involved in returning the tire to service? Well, we have to remount the tire to the wheel, then balance the tire and wheel assembly, and install the wheel assembly to the vehicle following proper installation procedures. If you are interested in Tech's complete line of tire repairs, specialty chemicals, and all the tools you saw used in our Tech training videos, refer to the list in this module and contact your Tech distributor or visit techtirerepairs.com. It's been great sharing Tech's repair process and tips on how to properly install a two-piece repair. You're now a professional, and you have the knowledge and insight to feel confident in performing this repair. If you have questions, contact the course instructor, your Tech distributor, or visit our website, techtirerepairs.com.